Hey guys, this is Jordan with Texas State, and I'm here with Carly Hall, and she's going to introduce herself here.
Hey guys, my name's Carly Hall. I graduated from the Mass Comm graduate program in the fall of 2010. For the last 6 years, I've been working as a project manager at a web design and development agency here in Austin. Right now, I oversee our project management office. It consists of six project managers and project coordinators that kind of work as the middle person between our production team of designers and developers and usability experts, and our clients who range from nonprofit organizations, technology companies, engineering firms. We work a lot with the University of Texas. So our job is to make sure that everybody has what they need, the communication's clear, and that our clients are giving us great content for the new sites and applications we're building.
Wow, that's awesome. That sounds super interesting. Did being in the South by Texas State program influence you in the direction of that job and career choice?
Absolutely. I think one of the biggest things I took away from South by Texas State is, we learned so much in Cindy's class before the festival. Um, but it was all in a classroom. And so being able to see it in real life and have real people and organizations talk about how they share their stories and they connect with their audience or their customers online, and just kind of how they use the digital space, it made it all real. And just being able to see everybody's passion about, the digital space as far as design, development, content was huge. I know when I was there, I got to see a lot of nonprofit organizations talk about how they were reaching both the people that could use their services, but also potential donors and volunteers online. And it really sparked my interest in how nonprofit organizations can be successful in a digital space.
Yeah, that's awesome. So obviously, the program had an effect on you. What were some
Oh,
of the best memories that you had, like from the class or from South by itself? Or
from South by itself, I I think the biggest thing was after you would attend a session, um, leaving the panel or the room that it was in and sprinting to the nearest power outlet that you could find,
right,
or stalking one until somebody was finished so that you could charge up your laptop so you had enough juice to, kind of give a brain download or a brain dump of everything that you learned in the session so that you could quickly put together content for the site. That was something else that I hadn't really experienced before, kind of like the extreme timeliness that you need to have when you have content, putting together multimedia, videos, images, packaging it, everything up with actually good written words
right,
to put online. I hadn't really done that in like a time crunch before.
right,
And, nowadays I'm preaching to our clients how important content is.
right.
And I've been in their shoes a little bit. And so, when I ask a client to deliver me 100 pages of content that's going to convince people to buy their product or donate to their cause, I kind of need to know what I'm talking about, that it's hard. It's
Right.
really hard. And South by Texas State gave me a small snippet of that. Um, as far as the classroom, I think the biggest thing was I can remember like the end of the semester crunch to finish up your project for Sunday's class. And we would all show up in the lab like, 9 or 10 o'clock after our other classes were finished.
Hmm.
And everybody would bring snacks for each other. And we were just all around hanging out. Cindy was usually there, or John. And everybody was just really collaborative. If somebody got stuck on something, everyone was always willing to, lend a helping hand or give constructive feedback because you wanted to obviously make the best project that you could.
Right.
And so it was just like a huge team effort. And everybody was so proud of not only their own work, but what everybody else was doing.
Right. That's awesome. So have you kept up with many of those people from that class? Or
Oh yeah. I mean, so Marin Hurd, who she graduated in fall 2010 with me. We have kept in touch over the last almost 7 years. She was a bridesmaid in my
oh
wedding.
wow, that's
Myra
awesome.
Garcia, who lives in New York now, she works for the New York Times. We're still really close. I still keep up with Dee and Kristen McCaslin. So yeah,
Yeah,
I,
Dee
I
came
feel
and
like
talked at one of our events last year. She was very
She
interesting.
is amazing, and she knows everybody in Austin.
Right.
She's so connected, but and she's also the sweetest person. But yeah, I mean, I feel like we we kind of went through something together, and a lot of us stayed in the Austin area, and we're in sort of similar industries, and so it's always fun to get together. We actually, myself, Krista McCaslin, Myra, Marin, and Jamie Kilpatrick. Now it's Jamie Lee. We had I think we called ourselves the Badass Media Women. I don't even remember. This was a long time ago.
Right.
But we would get together after class or after the semester was finished and have drinks and just kind of talk about what we learned. And it was so much fun. And we keep in touch today.
Right. Yeah. All of us in the class this semester literally have the same schedule. Like we're in all of our other classes are the same.
Yeah.
So it's like we see each other all the time. We're texting all the time. And
Become
your
a
guys,
little
sounds like your crew is kind of setting the bar really high as far as where y'all have ended up since graduating. So it's encouraging as someone in the class to see that, but also slightly intimidating. But
Well, and it's also great because Dee is a great example. She knows so many people, and it's great. Not even if you're just just looking for a job, but just seeking advice. Staying up to speed on like what's happening in the industry. I have gone through several hiring, I guess, phases or rounds in my department, and I'd say at least 50% of the people that we've hired, I have been connected to or been recommended by someone that graduated from the program.
right.
So
Networking goes a long way, is what you're saying. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
And that's definitely something important to remember as we head into South by, because that's what she's always preaching, to get out of our comfort zones and just go talk to people.
Yeah, I mean, the people that I saw at panels that I had never heard of before, there's still people that I still follow on Twitter, or I follow their blogs, some of them on Instagram, and they're the people I still turn to learn about what's happening in the industry.
Right. Well, that's awesome. Well, this has been very informative. Is there any other advice that you would share with someone like myself, or future students who might be interested in taking the class?
I think just jump into and absorb every opportunity that comes your way, not only with South by Texas State, but anything in Cindy's class and anything really in the graduate program in general. I worked as a teaching assistant during Mass Communication Week, and
that's what Dee spoke at was
yeah. So I was the assistant coordinator there one of the semesters. And then I also kind of helped with like the live streaming and stuff. Right. And there was a man that spoke at one of the panels that I was volunteering at, and his company sounded really cool. And I was like, I'm going to remember that. A year later, when I was like, oh, I'm about to graduate, I should probably figure out what I'm going to do with my life. Right. I started kind of thinking about what I really wanted to do. I was like, hey, I remember this company. Let me go look it up. Well, that company was Trademark, and it was the founder of Trademark that was speaking at MassCom Week. And I ended up getting a job there, and I'm still working there today, and I love it. Wow. So you never know what sort of opportunity you're going to find just by taking, they were seeking volunteers to help with live streaming to make sure the volume was working correctly. And it ended up helping me find a job that I'm really passionate about.
Wow. As someone who's trying to figure out what he's doing with his life, that's encouraging. That hopefully we're in the right place to do that.
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I really appreciate you taking the time to speak with me.